Hi everyone, I'm back home now. That was an interesting ride home. And you know, like as soon as I got in, before I even hop in the shower, because I got to give myself a nice head to toe rinse, the first thing I'm doing is double checking if legally everything is going to be okay with me getting into Jordan, because whoever I talk to, remember I'm going for 3 months and I want to extend it to 6 months, but like when I contact all this like Jordan embassy, Armenian embassy, they keep just transferring me to like other numbers and other things, and I'm like, what the fuck? And they give me a Russian it's a Russian embassy for Jordan, and it's like no one is answering me, and no one is answering me. So people are telling me no one really goes to Jordan for that long from Armenia, so they don't really know how to answer. So I ended up actually leaving the hotel, Lavash Hotel, 3 hours earlier. I was like, enough is enough. I don't need any more to be here. I feel like it's complete. Time to go back home and work, right? So all of a sudden, I called the Yandex, the driver, to take me home, the taxi cab driver, and I'm standing there. All of a sudden, the guy, the manager from yesterday, shows up right next to me, and he's like trying to talk to me, and it was very, very like obvious he was either gonna ask for my number or give me his. But the driver showed up out of nowhere, and he couldn't say anything, or he felt like it, and he looked so upset, like disappointed. He's like, just come back, please, just come back. And then I got in the car, and then the cab drivers, he's also a young guy from Sevan, got me coffee. Usually they do that, the drivers, when you're on a long road. It's a 3-hour drive. He took me to this place in Lori. There's this like really nice place, like it's like all like the people that died, that have kept like this nation, like they were patriotic people, their graveyards. We're passing by there, and he's like, do you want to go out and see what's here? I'm like, usually I say no, but I said fine, right? And there's like a little like water area. It's like a fountain with water coming down. So I'm like, sure, we can drink some water. And he's having a cigarette. Literally 2 minutes. Then we got back in the car, and he's like, have you gone, when you went to the lake, did you go jet skiing? I'm like, no. He's like, what? He's like, did you even go on the boat? I said, no, I didn't end up going, because it was always someone, either the driver wasn't there or there was like booked or something. I said, next time. He goes, okay, next time. He goes, I have a jet ski, I'm gonna take you. And I'm like, oh no, here it comes. And so he gave me his number, and he goes, you need to tell me the truth if this makes you uncomfortable. I'm like, he's like, I want to get. And he was telling me in the car how he went to the war. Also, he was talking about the war, and he's like, you could tell from his eyes like he's gone through hell, man. And he's just like, I want to get to know you. He's like, I could tell you have a pure heart. You're not like the people here. You're nothing like the people here. You have very good intentions. Everything you say and do comes out of purity from your heart. Which everyone notices about me anyways. And he goes, Armenians, they're very jealous people, and I can only imagine how jealous everyone gets of you. Again, the usual. And then he says, you need to be honest with me though. He goes, if I take your number, if I ask you for your number, if I give you my number, I don't want you to just take my number and never call me. He goes, I'm serious. I want to take you around Sevan, and he's like, we'll get to know each other. And I'm like, this is a fucking test, isn't it? This is a fucking test. He was telling me he was engaged. Listen to this. And I'm like, this is a test, isn't it? This is a fucking test. Because like on my way there, I'm like, what if I got a house in Sevan? And I'm like, no, I'm not investing anymore in Armenia, right? Like when I was at the lake before all this stuff, it was like the first day I was there. The mind thinks about things. And he was saying, before he went to the war, he was with someone for 10 years. They were gonna get married. He came back from the war, and she married someone else. And I'm like, another one. That was the story of Ali. He doesn't know Ali. He doesn't know I have connections to Jordan. He doesn't know I'm gonna leave to go to Jordan. He doesn't know I'm ready to leave this country behind and annul everything and sell my apartment and get rid of my passport if I could. And I didn't say a fucking thing. But you see how the universe is testing. And he goes, if you give me your number, I'm gonna take you out. He goes, you have to be honest, because he goes, I know you're a direct person. You tell people to their face. He goes, I like that, because I want to call you tonight. So how do I know that this is a test? I'm taking this as a test, a major test, because it's very clear to me that I'm being tested on what I'm going to choose to do. Am I going to leave my Heidenik? And we were talking about that. I said, listen, I have a fear, because he kept saying, sell your apartment in Gyumri. Again, I didn't say anything that I'm tired of Armenians. I don't like this. I want to sell my apartment, nothing. He's like, sell your apartment, come to Sevan. You have a friend now, you have multiple friends now, this and that. I'll always show you around. He's like, just come to Sevan. And I'm like, the thing is, I can't trust Armenians, you know, because within Armenians, there's always someone who's ready to sell that person out. And he goes, yeah, it's very true. So this is a test, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a test by the universe. But I think I've already planned shit out. Okay, so it's just before 3 a.m. I woke up, actually it is 3 a.m. I woke up just before 2. And interestingly, yesterday when I got back home, of course it was July the 7th, and there was like a major portal that was open that's closing off a lot of cycles, and people are getting karma, and that means good karma too, so good energy coming in. Remember, karma isn't what is taught and preached in the mainstream world. It's a lot more in depth, and there's more to it, and it's not necessarily always a bad thing. There's also good energy that's reaped too from decades worth of intentions and things that you have existed and put out. Yeah, it's actually like 3:23 a.m. So what do I want to say? I just feel like I should be expressing some things, because maybe the energy of the grid around you, the frequencies around you are shifting. If you like meditating, do that. If not, go out in nature, because nothing is going to stay the same anymore. Okay? Nothing is going to stay the same anymore. And I keep bringing up, the future and Jordan and me, wanting to let go of Armenia and where I live. I can't say I know entirely what it's going to end up happening, but there is an ultimate fate that, you get called to go where you're meant to go, man. It is what it is, for your own evolution and for what you want to do with yourself, as well as what's written in the stars, really, too, right?